Did you tweet out?
What is up, everybody? Welcome in to the Fantasy Tap. My name is Michael, and this here is John.
Johnny
John,
boy.
how are you doing today?
I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
that's good.
It's gonna be another one of those times where I ask you, Mike, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I literally just knocked you out of the playoff contention. So I'm almost. So I feel
We got
great.
2 more weeks. One win out. I just need some other people to lose.
Yeah. So I took it out of your control.
Barely, but
And
yes,
It feels great.
it was a close
I'm
one.
doing great. Was it a close one?
I thought so.
Oh, yes, it was because
It came down to Logan Thomas.
Yeah, I was up by 1 point, and you needed Logan Thomas to fumble.
I needed Logan Thomas to fumble, break a leg or something, get out for the rest of the game, not touch the ball again, and it didn't happen.
Wow, well, that's kind of rude, but yeah.
I'm just saying what I needed. I'm not saying I was hoping for it. I mean, let's be honest, though.
Oh, that's horrible. So, anyways, we have got our Listener League update, Week 13. We're reviewing Week 12. We had a couple. Obviously, we missed last week due to Thanksgiving and stuff like that. We had a couple really close games. One of the higher scoring weeks that I've seen in a while, to be honest.
Yeah, we'd had a game come down to less than a point. So really another great week of fantasy football coming out of this league. Realistically, this has been a really great league to watch. But we're starting to hit that point to where the dominant teams are starting to win consistently, and the teams that showed a little sign of struggle early on are starting to fade away after they put on their big boy pants and started putting some wins in their columns. But still a pretty contentious playoff pool here. Some teams, I would say, have officially locked themselves in at least to a spot. So congrats to them.
I believe, let's see. Nobody has locked it for sure, but pretty much. At least from what I'm seeing, there's no asterisk. Typically, they put a little asterisk next to it. So I don't see that. Maybe it's only on the app. I'll check on the app. But right now, like you said, I'm pretty sure most our top 3 are
top 3 should be
locked in.
See.
Actually, yes, our top 4 are locked in. Okay. Looking at it on the app, our top 4 are locked in. So without further ado, actually, not sure if I can still make the playoffs, but still trying. Hey, Caleb, you got this. You got this. So I believe in you. If you guys could smash that like button, it would do us a favor. Also, if you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button. Without further ado, let's jump over to it. We're going to share our screen and go over what happened in a busy week 12. So, like John said, it was, we had a couple close games. The closest we'll go over last. But before we jump in, we got a question. Which one do we flex? Ayuk, Deontay, or Jamal standard scoring this week?
This week, I want to say Ayuk right there, but Deontay should be the smart answer. I got to see what the matchup is. I forget who Pittsburgh's playing.
They're playing Baltimore.
Oh, yeah. San Francisco's playing sorry.
San Francisco
Seattle.
So Seattle.
I'm going to go Ayuk on this one.
Yeah. Being that it's standard scoring, I'm going Jamal Williams. With DeAndre Swift potentially missing multiple weeks. Dan Campbell came out and said that it might be a pretty that they're probably going to rely heavily on Jamal. I'm leaning Jamal Williams. So, sorry, Josh. I wish we could have helped you better. But
let's take a second and talk about this then.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
you want to so we're going standard scoring. So we're talking about total yards and touchdown opportunity.
Right.
Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel, I would say, are both very talented receivers. We saw Brandon Ayuk have a slow start, and it seemed like it was more of a personal issue with the team. Now that he's going to be that number one receiver on the team, like he was last season, I still think that he has great upside in that opportunity for standard, even in standard scoring. Um, he's been averaging about almost 90 yards per game the past 2 weeks, and had another 90-yard game 2 weeks ago before that against Arizona. I definitely think against Seattle, though, he's a candidate to break out for over 100 yards this week, and I think a touchdown's well within range for him.
I agree. I mean, I definitely think that there's a high possibility. However, I'm a little worried it could not go to him. You know, it could be a Kittle game.
Sure, he's more guaranteed. He's the more guaranteed one.
I think, and that's why I'm leaning Jamal Williams in standard scoring. I think that he is guaranteed, I mean, 15, 20 touches. So, that's why I lean Jamal Williams in this instance. But I do agree that I think Brandon Ayuk has a huge ceiling this week, like a huge ceiling. The Seahawks are just horrible. So yeah, Josh, I hope we could help you out there. Feel free to sub and like the video. We'd really appreciate it. All right, let's jump into our first matchup. It was Team Miles, our winner, our listener league winner from last year, versus TK Brad. TK Brad has been putting up points, but he has the most points against, which is why he is in the situation he is in. 84-72. Miles taking the cake on this one, and that was primarily thanks to Hunter Renfrow and Antonio Gibson putting up 20 points and 17 points by Hunter. And then Tom Brady not completely crapping the bed. But you know who did? That was DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift crapped the bed, and that's pretty much because of his injury. So I guess we can't really say,
leaving the game will
bad,
generally stop the production of fantasy points.
Typically, yes. Did they leave on? Oh my God! Oh no!
Plenty of points on the board on the bench here for the winner of the week. So it doesn't really matter too much. Just a low scoring, underperforming game.
Yeah. And Matt Stafford was left on the bench by TK Brad. He
took the shot on Tua.
He did take the shot. If he would have started him, he would have won.
He would have.
Yeah, he would have won. So unfortunate there for TK Brad. Very close game. Good job, both of you. Team Miles is in contention. Getting closer. He was bottom 2 a while ago. But sneaking his way back up. All right, Caleb, a.k.a. Aaron Rodgers Fan Club, a.k.a. Oreo Borio, taking the win this week against Cam Newton's burner phone. Both sitting at 4-8 this week. Kirk Cousins, Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert just squeaked out the 5 extra points, but it really didn't matter because Javonte Williams, Russell Gage, and our boy Jalen Waddle balled out. Plus, it doesn't hurt that he got 14 points from his tight end and 15 from Russell Gage. It's sad to see, though, for Cam Newton's burner phone because we were talking about it. He was making a push. Got CMC back. Obviously, CMC's gone now.
CMC gone now.
And Elijah Mitchell putting up 25 points. Still wasn't able to squeak out the win.
Yeah. This sucks because if CMC would have played the game, you would have expected him to be able to put up enough another 20 points compared to where he finished. So really close to winning this game. And he's one of the teams that is kind of close to on hunt, would have to win out the rest of the season and need some other teams to lose as well. So could have been the nail in his coffin.
Yes, it seems like it is. Tree Nugs, a.k.a. Astro, says it's getting down to the wire, and that it is getting very close to the wire here. No important points left on the bench. A couple, but nothing that would have changed the outcome. All right, let's go to John's guy. And that is Copson
Wilson.
Rogers, a.k.a. Wilson. Aaron Rodgers, just balling out. The cornerstone of his team. Also, Cordero Patterson, balling out. Deebo Samuel, who he lost. Doubtful this week. Looking like it could be a couple weeks injured. Also started Van Jefferson. Van Jefferson on that long touchdown really helped him out. I mean, everybody went off. Almost everybody except for Mike Gesicki and the Carolina Panthers defense went off for Cops and Rodgers. He's on a 9-win streak, John. 9-win streak.
It's because, week 3 you counted him out, gave him a little crap, and
I did.
I like the underdog. I took him, and since then he's playing for me. This is my team now. Let's go, Wilson.
Your team.
You're representing one of the guys here. So
yeah,
need you to turn this up.
Redbirds had some just underperformers on his team. I don't want to say
absolutely.
Devontae Adams underperformed, but 14 points. He just didn't get in the end zone. He put up 100 yards, but
you really want to talk about Mike Evans and Tennessee's defense.
Yeah, and Devontae Smith too. No real points left on the bench. Yeah, no points.
No.
I mean, shoot. Cops and Rodgers had 2 quarterbacks put up over 25 points.
Redbirds, you might want to be hitting that waiver wire, man. You've got some empty bench slots available to you, and I'm sure there's some players that could be helpful, at least for this last little push here as you get into those playoffs.
I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. So, let's move on over Frothy Pigskins and Team Suck It Easy. They were sitting at the same
close game.
Yeah, the same. They were both sitting at 7-4. And Frothy Pigskins took the cake. Leonard Fournette, 4 touchdowns. His nickname on this team was Party of 4, and what a fitting name. 4 touchdowns.
Party is all there. Let's go. Oh, yeah, Leonard Fournette, great play this week. Dontrell Hilliard came in for a great play as well. And then, I made a comment about Brandon Cooks this week. It was my start of the week. And he kind of put me on the spot during our Sunday live stream and said that he's going to be playing Brandon Cooks. So I appreciate you playing him, and I'm glad he didn't embarrass me, but he didn't do what I wanted him to do. And good job on that win. Neither
did Cam Newton, though, for him. Cam Newton
didn't have a single playable player on his bench.
He didn't? I haven't scrolled down there yet. It was a close game, 124-119. So it was a very close game, one of our closer games on the week. And yes, he could not play. He literally played everybody he could. Still snuck out the win. Kyler Murray, Darrell Williams, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyreek Hill, and CeeDee Lamb. And we've talked about it all season. His wide receiver core is deadly. So might be getting them back this week. He snuck out a win with Cedric Wilson playing. What? Wow. Tough for Team Suck It Easy. Left a few points on the bench. Myles Gaskin, Darnell Mooney, Boston Scott, all could have helped him.
Any single one of them.
Yeah, any single one of them would have helped him win on the week. But these points are crazy. I mean, Joe Mixon, Leonard Fournette, what a great matchup this week. So, KBKC and Team PNW 360. Team PNW taking the win on this, even though KBKC had Josh Allen with 36.7 points. Whew, man. Tony Jones hurting him. DK Metcalf hurting him.
Saquon.
Sanders. I will take the heat on that. I was all over Miles Sanders this week. Very hot on him. But I don't know. That Eagles team is just annoying to me. But whatever.
I think it's annoying to everyone that's been playing this year.
Seriously.
I will say, though, I'm glad we haven't seen anyone play Cam Newton yet.
We just talked about it.
Oh.
Frothy Pigskins played him.
Oh, he did? Oh.
Yeah, he did.
I completely I scrolled past that completely. I just saw the points, and I didn't expect him to have that low at the quarterback column.
Yeah, 8 points. This was a battle of the defenses. Miami's defense and the Patriots defense scoring 23 points and 19 points respectively. So great battle there. I love to see. I like it when both teams are kind of like. I'm not a defensive guy much. We don't typically play. John and I don't typically play with defenses and special teams and stuff like that. But it's always fun to throw it in there, and which is why we did. So I like to see when one team has a defense go off that the other is at least comparable. So they're not winning just on, a pick six or something like that, So it's good to see that.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, played his best lineup, obviously. Defense helps him a lot, but realistically, it comes down to the fact that we had just some underperformers for KBKC and taking shots on some players. I mean, he's not wrong about Tony Jones, though. The guy had 16 carries. The touches were there. Production
and
wasn't.
That's the thing. That's the thing is the production. Production was not there for Tony Jones. And you know what? You get that sometimes, unfortunately. It is what it is. And then finally, our closest game of the week and potentially even the season. The Banana Stand taking the win, 96.52 to 95.8. What a game. Less than a point.
7 yards through this game. So
craziness.
Pretty solid there.
And we had some underperformers on both sides. Chris Godwin sticking out to me. Jamar Chase, Nick Chubb, Mike Williams, Dallas Goedert having half of a point. Just disgusting. And he started the Denver defense, or did not start the Denver defense, which would have won him the week over Baltimore. But it's kind of hard to start the Denver defense over Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, especially on the matchup. Was supposed to be. I mean, Baltimore did their job. I would blame this one on Dallas Goedert not being able to put up a full point. And then also his receiving core, Nick Chubb, all of his studs just blew it for him except for Stephon Diggs this week. And it's really sad to see. Rough. It is a rough loss. But luckily he's still both teams are in the playoff push now. Banana Stand pushing into he just needs to keep winning. He can do this.
Yeah.
He's a team that's come up from the bottom.
With that being said, let's take a look at our standings. Here they are. Like I said, the top four have locked in their spots to the playoffs. Obviously, rank is not set yet. Top two teams get a bye week, but the top four have locked a playoff spot. So it's these last two spots here. In my opinion, Team Suck It Easy. One more win, he's locked in. But literally anybody from 11th place, unfortunately TK Brad is mathematically eliminated. Anybody from 11th place up to sixth place, I mean technically, can any of those positions can flip-flop.
Yeah. And the guys at the 10 and the 11 spots are going to have some weeks where they put up a lot of numbers too, because their total points for is pretty low, sitting at 1,150-ish for both of them. And if they even have the chance to make the push and get the record, they're more than likely going to be tied with another team and are going to need that point win to get that leverage there. So
it's definitely going to be – they're going to need a miracle to make it in. But definitely not impossible. Not impossible. So, keep setting your lineups. Let's see. The playoffs start in a couple weeks, week 15. As of right now, here are how it would play out. Wilson gets the bye. Astro gets the bye. And then we have, as it stands, the Fantasy Tap groupie, a.k.a. Frothy Pigskins, plays Team Suck It Easy. And D. Seagrest, our sixth place, plays Team PNW 360. And the winners would move on, obviously. So it's going to be fun. I think next week is going to be a good show. Next week and the week after. Next week especially, though, because we're going into our final week of regular season matchups. And we've got three guys sitting there tied at 5-7. Obviously, the point differential is what separates them, but really fighting over that last spot. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun.
It's exciting. It's going to come down to the wire.
Love it. And that's why we do it. That's why we do this. So let's jump over to the matchups coming up, which could affect. I haven't even looked at the matchups yet, so I don't know who plays. I'm hoping Segrest, Banana Stand, or Miles. I am hoping some of them play each other. That'd be a good matchup this week because they're both all three are sitting at 5-7. Little loser leaves town action. But let's click on over and see who the matchup is. None of those fall in. But Miles plays Aaron Rodgers fan club. Both need wins. At the end of the day, both need a win. Miles sitting at 5-7. Aaron Rodgers fan club sitting at 4-8. Then we've got Cam Newton's burner phone playing TK Brad Hinton. Brad can play spoiler this week and spoil Cam Newton's burner phone completely if he wants.
Yes, sir.
We've got Redbirds playing Team Suck It Easy. If Redbirds wants to make Suck It Easy sweat it out a little bit, he can put up a dub and
I just look forward to next week. Suck It Easy's playing Redbirds, which is a 9-3 team this week, and then next week he's going up against Aaron Rodgers, Cops and Rodgers, which is Wilson, who's 9-3 as well right now, and it's been a pretty predominant team these past 9 weeks. So it is very possible that he does not make it if he can't scoop out somehow get himself a win in these next 2 matchups. So definitely something we're going to want to pay attention to.
He does have a nice points for, which is good, 1384. The next closest to him that is eligible is about 70 or so points away from him. So does have a little bit of, a margin there, but that can definitely dwindle pretty quickly in 2 weeks. So we've got a heavyweight matchup, Cops and Rodgers versus Frothy Pigskins. Cops and Rodgers obviously sitting in first at 9-3. Frothy Pigskins sitting at 8-4. If Frothy Pigskins can pull out a win this week, he should jump up into the top 2 or very close to it and could get that first round bye. He does have the most points in the league by about 60 or so, 50 to 60. So that's an interesting matchup. He'll definitely jump up into the top 3.
You would also need either PNW or Redbirds to lose that week for him to jump up.
Yep. So he'll definitely jump up into the top 3, potentially the top 2. So interesting. And if all 3 of the guys above him lose, then he jumps up to first. So speaking of PNW, he plays the Banana Stand, who needs a win. PNW sitting in third place at 9-3. Banana Stand at 5-7. He's one of those guys who's fighting for that last spot, 6th spot. So, and then another good matchup, KBKC and Team D Segrest. Both, Segrest is in that last spot, in that 6th spot currently, and KBKC is 4-8, fighting for that last spot.
Yeah. Very nice to see pretty much everyone's in a matchup where they can either spoil it for someone else or they are fighting for their spot. Any 4-8 team loses this week, they're going to be eliminated completely. Cam Newton's burner phone was handed a gift this week to get the last team and possibly keep himself on a good roll. Miles, I think, is the best opportunity to win his matchup this week out of the 5-7 teams. So really excited to see how these playoffs break down, man. It's going to be fun.
But, to be honest, though, looking at Cam Newton's burner phone, lost Christian McCaffrey. And don't forget, TK Brad Hinton is top 5 or top 5 or top 6 in points for. he is just last in points against by about 100.
He's sixth in points by 1 point, but 5-6 is fair.
Yeah. So,
He must
just
have had
some
an
bad
injury or
luck,
something
some bad
later in the
bounces.
season.
So I don't think it's a shoe-in for Cam Newton's
Oh, no.
phone. Currently, he is actually not favored, but obviously there's some injuries and stuff like that. He has to adjust his lineup. Defense is not playing and things like that, so he's got to adjust his lineup to potentially, squeak out a victory. But like you said, definitely potentially the person I'd want to play if, being in the spot he is. So, what's your favorite matchup this week?
My favorite matchup is going to be, for me, I think it's going to be DC Grist and KBKC. And I also like Banana Stand and PNW. I think that both of those games are going to be playoff indicators, and if Banana Stand or DC Grist can get the win, we're looking at one of them to more than likely get a spot in the playoffs. So I'm pretty much just trying to figure out who's making it at this point.
Who is your dark horse? Obviously, we have the top four in. Who is your dark horse to win it all?
Dark horse to win it all. Oh, that is a tough one. At this point, I really think that you're looking at Frothy Pigskins to win this out.
No. Dark horse, not a favorite. I think he's a favorite. I think the top four are favorites. Outside of those top four.
Oh, we're doing it that way. Give me the Banana Stand.
Banana Stand?
The Banana Stand. He's got Jamal Williams rest of the season. He's got Travis Kelce, OBJ, Chris Godwin, Jerry Jeudy, Tony Pollard, who Zeke might be a little banged up. Najee Harris, Patrick Mahomes, who's been on its tear lately. Freiermuth on his bench. AJ Dillon's in there too. He's in for it. I really think he's someone that's gonna push in there.
I'm leaning DC Grist. Dak Prescott, Josh Jacobs, Nick Chubb, Mike Williams, Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs. His tight end is weak, Dallas Goedert, but he's got Courtland Sutton, the Baltimore Ravens defense. On his bench, though, and this is where I think it comes into play, he's got Jalen Hurts, number 1 or number 2, top 3 quarterback this year. Zach Moss, which, not very good, but filler. But then he's got Michael Carter and Amari Cooper, who should be coming back.
How much longer is Michael Carter going to be on IR?
He should be back in 2 weeks, approximately. So he should be back week 15, or he's eligible week 15 to come back. So he might have them, and his week 15 and 16 matchups are pretty nice. At least his 16 is. So, Nick Chubb getting the rest this week. I like his team. I like his starting lineup. So I think that he could be a dark horse to win.
All right.
So
let's see which one of them actually makes it in. How about that?
Yeah, there we go. I know. I can't
do another.
wait. Like I said, very excited. Very excited for this. But yeah, let's jump over to the recent transactions, and then we will get y'all out of here. What was the date of our last? Let's see. Where did our waivers run? Okay, here we go. Waivers ran yesterday. Or today, I'm sorry. Here we go. We'll just go with the waivers. Minnesota Vikings picked up by Aaron Rodgers fan club. Dropped the Pittsburgh Steelers. Don't blame me there. We've got Tyreek. Taysom Hill being picked up by the Banana Stand. Dropping Taylor Heineke. I think that could be a very good pickup, especially this week. Cops and Rogers getting Alexander Madison. So the rich get richer. Dropping the Carolina Panthers defense. Great pickup. Who has Dalvin Cook? Do you know who has Dalvin Cook? I don't know.
I'll let you know in a second.
All right. And then we've got Devin Singletary being picked up by Redbirds 2K21. Dropping his hometown favorite, Benjamin. Cam Newton Cedric Wilson all being dropped by Frothy Pigskins. Can't say I don't blame him. Tony Jones being dropped by KBKC and Mark Ingram being picked up. And then finally Rex Burkhead being picked up by Aaron Rodgers fan club and dropping Carlos Hyde. Really
Sad
surprised.
to see. Aaron Rodgers
Really
fan club is the Dalvin Cook owner and ended up grabbing Rex Burkhead.
Let's see how much. So there were 3 bids on Alexander Madison, but nobody put any in except for Wilson. Wilson could have bid $1 and been fine. Is that because everybody? Yeah, he's got 0, and yep, everybody's got 0, except who had it, who put in a bid, except for Aaron Rodgers. I'm really surprised that not more people didn't go after Alexander Madison.
Me too. There's still a lot of people with some fab left over, at least $50 plus, and a majority of them are in the top 6 slots.
Yeah, I mean PNW sitting at full fab, hasn't spent a dime.
Hasn't spent $1 all season. My man's he's cheap.
But
cheap
top 3, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
A win's a win, right?
So, but anyways, guys, that's it. That's what we got. If you could do us a favor, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tune in next week. We're going to be talking about who's in, who's out, and what matchups are next week. Excited to see what happens and how it plays out. I'm hoping, this is my hope, I'm hoping that the matchups next week are for the playoffs. Win and get in, lose, you leave town. So, that's what I'm hoping for. Haven't looked at them yet, but should be fun.
Yes, sir. Hopefully we see Suck It Easy push himself into the playoffs, lock down that 7th spot, and then we just see a bunch of people fighting for that number 6. Or into the 5th spot, and we see people fighting for the 6th. Going to be a very, very interesting Sunday, and I'm sure all these people are going to keep their eyes on this league matchups and moving along.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So don't forget, we do go live every Sunday. John and I, we're going to do a quick live stream from Miami this week. So it will be fun. But yeah, so anyways, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We will see